Where the hell are you?
Yeah, this is Luke from Play.
This is Paul.
And today we're taking a look at Uncharted 4, Thief's End. Now, we've been looking forward to this one for quite some time. Saw that wonderful teaser trailer at E3. And at PSX, Sony saw fit to give us a lot more to go on with about 15 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, it was fairly generous.
I thought so. Very nice. What a lovely Christmas present.
Yeah. So obviously it was in the same area that the teaser was in by the looks of it, which we've pretty much established is Ile Sainte Marie, I believe it's called, which is off the coast of Madagascar.
That's the thinking, yeah.
That's where it likely is, though that's not officially confirmed. What sort of struck you in the demos in terms of how it looks, the new stuff? Like, was there anything there that really interested you?
The first thing, I guess, is a lot of people have been kind of complaining about the downgrade. You can't see the air quotes I'm doing there. Obviously, what they first showed was a cutscene, like the start of a mission, whatever. So it's going to look better than gameplay anyway. What we saw in game was close to that in terms of geometry, in terms of general look and feel of it. The lighting's not quite as good as it was in that first trailer, but like the draw distance and everything that's going on looked absolutely crazy. I mean, the main thing for me was kind of the more open plan level design.
Yeah, that looked quite interesting to me. The way of when he was engaging in combat, it seemed to me that there was more scope to move around the environment as you were fighting. Like, it seemed designed to encourage you to sort of cut underneath your enemies and like climb up behind them. And like, I don't if memory serves me correctly, combat hasn't really been like that in the past Uncharted games.
No. I mean, it's always been broken down almost into, this is a platforming section, this is a shooting section, this is a puzzle section.
Yeah.
And the new gameplay lets to kind of combine all of that. So you can go from being in a firefight, you swing out of trouble on your grappling hook, climb off around the side of a cliff or whatever, and the guys will lose you. They'll go back to patrolling, kind of almost Metal Gear style.
Yeah.
And then you can just sneak into the grass, pick them off one by one again. If you get spotted, you're going to go back into a firefight, and classic Uncharted gunplay carries on. But there's a much more kind of player-controlled flow to it than there was with the last Uncharted games, closer to The Last of Us, I guess.
Yeah, I hope that's something that continues in the full game as well. Because obviously we've only seen a short section, but I do like that aspect of it. You mentioned the grapple hook. That was cool, didn't it?
It was.
when he swings up around, hits the guy, and then catches his gun in midair.
It was pretty cool, I have to say. I mean, there's a lot of really neat context-sensitive animations and stuff going on in there, like ones where he'd bump the guy down the cliff. The melee becomes like a shove to push the guy down a cliff instead of the normal punching stuff. Just general little subtle things, like almost like you saw in Tomb Raider, actually, in the reboot. He'll reach out for like overhead things, kind of help himself along walls and stuff while he's going through tunnels, even to the point, one of my favourite bits in that whole gameplay sequence, it's a bloody stupid little thing, but the way he comes out of the tunnel and doesn't quite stand up straight again, like as soon as he could, because he's worried he's going to bang his head on the way out.
Yeah.
Just little things like that.
Yeah, no.
Tiny little details.
Yeah, small touches, but I think, some people would say it's silly to care about, but I think for stuff like Uncharted, which is meant to be like a cinematic kind of experience, I think that kind of thing does add something.
It needs
it's
it
meant
almost,
to be.
like that's what a next-gen adventure game is going to need to be.
Yeah.
There's only so far you can push a game where it's about shooting dudes and going through a jungle. Like, the only way of making that more cinematic is having these little flourishes, having it feel more natural.
Yeah.
And this is, from what we've seen, definitely closer to that. I found it interesting, actually, that they chose to set it in such familiar Uncharted territory, if you see what I mean. Like, it's an Uncharted jungle. It's the first level of every Uncharted game.
Yeah.
But I can only assume that was done to kind of highlight this new stuff, to highlight like the new mobility stuff in the grappling hook and the climbing pick, to highlight kind of the new flow of combat, so you can duck in and out of it and in and out stealth, that kind of thing. So it's kind of the new and the old combined into one. I think if they'd have shown like a brand new sequence, it didn't really feel like a classic Uncharted level. I think that might have put a lot of people off.
I think you can see how much better it looks as well.
Yeah, that too. It's a very easy yardstick, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like it's probably going to be pretty good Uncharted game.
But I would imagine so. That Naughty Dog is quite good at making the video games.
Yeah.
So I think we're looking at a tail end of 2015 release from what we can tell. Hopefully we don't see another cursed next gen slip up,
Yeah.
because we're seeing a lot of those right now. But I think this is probably based on the level of the code we saw, based on kind of how long we know they've been working on it. They can't afford to let it slip beyond Winter 2015. I don't think.
No, I don't think
This
so.
needs to be their big next Christmas game.
Yeah, and I think like Sony now will be cautious about announcing a release date preemptively before they know it's ready. So
Yeah.
I expect when they announce the release date, that will be the release date, and hopefully, like you say, it'll be this year. Yeah, 2015 rather than slipping into 2016.
Aye, and I for one cannot wait to play that shit.